Hi and welcome to Split the E podcast. I'm your host Sean O'Grady. In this podcast we split the entertainment of Vancouver City by taking artists out for a pint. This week, episode 14, finally we got a girl on the show. Amy Walsh, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having
fantastic.
me on.
Oh, I'm delighted to have you on.
Yeah,
So
first woman. Wow.
I know, yeah, 14
unreal.
podcasts in. It's
Yeah,
kinda,
that's bad now, Sean.
I know, yeah. I had a drag queen. Does that count? Kind of, but not really. He wasn't dressed up, you know?
All right, yeah.
So, comedy.
Yeah.
Where did it all begin?
Oh God. So I did a degree in drama and theatre in Galway. So
No shit.
yeah, I did speech and drama since I was like 12, and I just love performing. I play music and everything, so love being on the
Like
stage.
trad or what type of music?
No, I played violin for years and then double bass from the age of 17, and then I played in the
What's a double bass?
double bass is the big one.
Oh,
So,
like
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Jack Black, cello. Yeah.
Well, that's the cello.
Oh, I
yeah.
know, yeah. I'm so stupid.
But yeah, the big one that comes up like here, you'd see it a lot in jazz and stuff and bluegrass and stuff.
What? Was that like influence from your parents or what?
That my mom taught us all, me, my brother, and my sister, piano, and then we kind of all branched off into different instruments then. And I was playing the violin one day in a class, and my teacher told me to pick up the bass and play it with my classmate for her practical for the Leaving Cert, and I was like, oh, this is cool, or the junior cert, and then I was like, this class, so double bass, and then I played in a cover band called Don't Do Hugs for a few years with lads that were in their 40s, 50s and 70s. I was 19.
That would have been perfect if it came out in COVID time.
Yeah,
Don't do
exactly.
hugs.
Don't do hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always loved performing, and then I did my degree, and I didn't know if acting was for me. I kind of wanted to be in the arts, but wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Had thought about doing comedy for years, and then I was talking to a colleague of mine at the time, and we both realized that we wanted to do comedy. So we're like, all right, okay, let's just egg each other on, and we signed up for this open mic kind of thing in Dublin in the Halfpenny Inn, and if you backed out, you were banned for 6 months. So we were like, we have to do it.
Buy the ticket, take the ride.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you're in it. And then yeah, I did the gig, and I was so nervous that day. I cried, and also I had a feeling my boyfriend at the time was about to break up with me, which he did 2 days later. But so I was in an
fuck that. Jesus Christ.
I was in an awful shore, and but then I did it that some random Tuesday, and I was hooked ever since. And that was 2018.
Did it go well?
Yeah, it went well, and like, I mean, probably shiting compared to like on my standards
Did
now.
you never did like comedy in Galway?
No, I started in Dublin.
No way.
Started in Dublin, then I gigged in Galway then after that. So yeah, so started.
And you weren't in college in Dublin, yeah?
No, I was working in Dublin when I started. So I did my 4 years in Galway, and then went to Dublin working. I think I was 23 when I started comedy.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so started it, and then just got absolutely hooked. And couldn't stop. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What was the comedy scene in Dublin like?
It's pretty good. Like
Yeah.
it's like everyone. It's fairly small. Like
Yeah.
the whole country, you get to know people pretty quickly. Like you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I was gigging. I kind of picked up momentum then. I was gigging a year and like whatever 3-4 months or something when COVID happened. So I was like gigging all over the place.
You've like won awards and stuff like that as well.
I am
Nobody-
never first, but I got third funniest female here in BC, and I got like runner up in New Act in Bray comedy competition.
Wicked.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Yeah.
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 Because a mate of mine, he's like getting into it, but he's down in Kerry and he has to drive all the way to Cork to do shows.
Oh, that's a pain in the arse.
Isn't that? Yeah, that's shit. Like.
Yeah, that's the thing in Ireland though.
Yeah.
You do have to, like Dublin. Obviously, there's the most gigs.
Yeah.
But then you do have to travel. Like one of my favorite gigs in the entire country is up in Belfast in Lavery's Comedy, run by a comic called Colin Jedis.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, like I used to finish work at like 5:30 on a Thursday, jump on the bus up to Belfast, do a 10-minute set, jump back on the bus, come back home, and then go to work the next day. It was a bit mad.
And if it went well, you're like, yes. And if it went,
yeah,
you're
if it
like,
went shite, you're just like sitting on the bus for 2.5 hours, being like, what have I done with myself? Yeah.
That's sick. Then did you move over to England and you were doing comedy over in England too?
No, I had done some gigs in London just before COVID. It was like the February before COVID all kicked off. So I'd done a few gigs, and I was like, right, okay, I'm going to start going over there more often. And then COVID happened, and I was doing I moved back to the west of Ireland into my childhood bedroom, and was doing Zoom gigs, which was
Holy
absolute
fuck.
scutter.
Yeah.
So bad. At least though when I bombed, I could just close the laptop and jump into the bed and cry. Like.
Oh my God. Well, and just going back, like even before you were thinking about doing comedy, were you like writing all the time? Or
I
like, how
had I had the bits written and stuff. I had a good bit written, stories here and there, or ideas that I had, and like what really kind of egged me on was like I'd tell stories from my life in the pub to my
Yeah.
friends, and they'd all be like in bits.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, this is, and I like it sounds really corny, but I just love making people laugh.
100%.
So like,
It's the best thing ever, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking unreal. So when I was like, okay, I can use these stories and like put them on stage. So initially when I started off, I was just like going up and telling stories, which was like getting laughs and stuff. But it took me a while to realize, oh no, you have to actually like,
There's a time limit here.
yeah, the time limit. Also, you have to really structure it as well to have, you know, the punchlines and all of that
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
to like make it work on stage, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's not like, come here, let me tell you this. No,
yeah, exactly. Because I was like, that'll be fine, and then it
Yeah.
took me a while to realize, oh no, I actually have to put punchlines in there. It's like, oh, and it sounds so stupid and obvious, but like when you're starting off, you haven't a fucking clue.
No,
like,
no.
Like I thought that people went up and did different sets every time. I
Oh,
thought
really?
Yeah, when I initially
suppose,
started,
yeah.
I was like, oh, they just like go up.
They're
and they
just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, then I started, I was like, oh no, they have their sets and then they just keep doing it and the same things and change it up a little bit, whatever.
100%.
So, yeah.
So then you've done shows in London, Amsterdam, and then COVID kicked in, and then you're like, fuck, when did you decide to jump the boat over to here, to Vancouver?
So I'd been thinking about moving to Vancouver for ages. Actually, since like I started comedy, me and that boyfriend at the time, we're like, oh, we'll move to like Canada or Australia or something. And then he was like, I'm going by myself. So he fucked off to Australia, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Canada.
Yeah.
So then I had plans to go to Canada, and then met a different boy. So that kind of put the pause on my plans, and then COVID happened. So I was like, shit. So as soon as the visas were open to come to Canada, I was like, I'm doing it. And then, yeah, I was like, whether you're coming with me or not, I'm not sticking around any longer. So yeah, that's how I ended up. I just like came here as fast as possible. Came here September 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard the comedy scene was like decent enough as well. So yeah.
And how long from moving in, getting your like feet planted on the ground, and then you started jumping into comedy then?
So here in
Yeah.
Vancouver, I think I waited 2 weeks, and then I
No
went
way.
straight into
Where'd you
an
go, like
open mic. I went
12
to,
Kings?
Yeah, exactly. 12 Kings, which is
Let's go.
actually done now.
I heard that, yeah,
the pub
unfortunately.
is closing down, but fuck me, it was. Oh man, it was a bit of a ropey one. It was, honestly, I was terrified, I'm not gonna lie. I was
Yeah.
like one of 2 women, and it was all lads, and like
So Monday night, right?
Sunday.
Sunday, yeah, that's right, yeah.
And like I was honestly terrified. Some of the lads that were going up were just like complete racist, like anti-Semitic, like all
Could have been
misogynistic.
homeless.
everything.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like there was one fella, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that he could shoot everyone in this pub, and I was terrified. And I was like, is this what the comedy scene is like here?
Yeah.
So then I ended up going to Comedy After Dark, which is one of the clubs here in the city, and you can put your name down for a raffle. And then if your name gets pulled out, you get to go on stage. So I paid my ticket, and I went in like as an audience member, sat down, put my name in. I was like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. They put my name out, and then
Sweet. So is that are you like the first one on stage then? Or
no,
have
so
to-
you're just kind of randomly in the lineup.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not booked basically for the you just get pulled out of a hat essentially.
Yes,
So I
yes,
got pulled out, and then the booker saw me, and I got chatting to her, and then honestly it just kind of went from there. She was like, how long have you been doing comedy? Blah blah blah. So went on from there, and that was maybe the 3rd week in, and it just kind of I just got meeting people and just kind of
How did you find to compare the Irish scene to like English and then to Vancouver? Is it different?
Yeah, like it definitely was hard. I feel like anywhere it's kind of hard to crack into the
Just even
scene.
getting into the like knowing people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like in everywhere it's mostly men, and as a woman it is hard to kind of go into those spaces and like hold your own when you're on your own, and like especially I felt like a lot of them wouldn't even look at me until they saw me on stage
Yeah,
doing a good job.
you have to prove yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm great at talking to people, but I'm not very good at like kind of approaching people, like groups of people I don't know and that kind of stuff. And I get really nervous and anxious and I overthink it. So I ended up just like sitting by myself a lot of the times.
I understand that,
Yeah, so it's hard to break in and stuff, but it was and kind of the same I felt in Ireland as well. Like you kind of had to prove yourself in order for like say the more seasoned like comics to kind of even give you the
shine
time
you
of day.
a little light on you.
Yeah. Which I get like as well,
Yeah,
but
100%.
you know, yeah, it's it can be tough.
Who like inspired you as like comedians when you were growing up?
I'd say the earliest ones I can remember are definitely Tommy Tiernan, which is
Solid,
solid
yeah.
in Ireland, and then Billy Connolly as well.
No way.
He was on our telly for as long as I can remember. We had the videos and everything, and my mum and dad. And I knew from an early age, I was like, okay, these people like are making like my parents die laughing, like you know.
This is magic.
Yeah, magic. Like how are they doing this?
Yeah.
So they're the ones that always, and I'm still big fans of them now. And it's funny, Tommy Tiernan, we were in a cafe when I was like.
I think I read this
9?
in a
Oh, well, did I tell this?
No, I did it. Was this in a
did I
blog
tell
or a
this?
newspaper or something?
Might have told this in an article before, about going up to Tommy Tiernan when I was 9 asking for his autograph.
That's wicked.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
like even from then I was a fan.
Yeah.
Probably from Father's Head, which I probably was too young to be watching, but but yeah, they're my earliest inspirations for comedy for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So how long? You're here 2 years.
Yeah.
When did you decide to set up your own show and then to add in a little factor with dogs?
So the dog comedy show. So the first one I did was in
Big Dog Energy.
Big Dog Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's we went on hiatus for the summer, but it's back on September 14th.
Nice. Get your tickets.
Yeah, get your tickets now.
Yeah.
So it's a dog-friendly comedy, and
You don't have to have a dog?
No, you don't have to have a dog to come. You just have to like dogs because you'll be surrounded by them. So I started it. The first one, it was in the Motton, and it was more Irish, more black, more dogs. So it was a play on that sign from the 1960s that was in America, which said no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. So then for this show, I had Irish comedians, black comedians, and then dogs in the audience. Yeah, but then I realized pretty quickly that I was going to run out of both of black comedians and Irish comedians pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, I'm just going to do a dog-friendly comedy show because
Cool.
it sold out the first show. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we're on to something here because the way I got thought of the show was. So I was minding dogs. I love dogs, and I don't have one here. They're all at home in Ireland. But I was minding dogs here through like a dog minding app, and so many people were like, "Yeah, we haven't been out for a date or anything in ages because we have to get the dog minded." And
Really?
yeah, so many of them.
Wow.
I know, because dogs in Ireland, they're just left in the house.
Yeah, I leave my dog at home right now. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like they're grand.
Yeah, no.
But I don't know. Vancouver owners seem a bit more particular. So then I was like, right, well, why don't I see if I can put this together? And so these people can go on dates and bring their dogs.
That's
so they don't have to
wicked.
pay for a sitter, whatever, you know?
Is it, sorry for interrupting,
No,
is
no.
it slightly like improv where a dog might nearly just go wild too?
So honestly, they're really well behaved. Like,
No way.
because I feel like a lot of Vancouver dog owners have gotten their dogs trained.
Yes.
So like most of them, and I say in fairness, I say on the Eventbrite as well, like socialized dogs as well. So
Yeah.
because we did have one dog at one show and he wouldn't shut the fuck up.
That'll be
And-
my dog. Makara, you're out. Like,
Yeah,
nah,
I'm
come
like, okay, just take them out for a wee, like, and it's funny at first, but then it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But generally the dogs are like pretty well behaved.
Yeah.
But it's gas because I've never seen an audience like interact as much as like at the dog shows, because everyone's just like, even like people who don't have dogs, they're going over to other people with dogs and chatting to them. Dog owners are all mixing, and as soon as people walk into the door, they're all like, yay, dogs!
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been going
Softens them
great.
up a little bit extra. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's there for a good time. And I think it was the last show, this woman, like, she was leaving and she grabbed my arm and she was just like, thank you so much for doing this.
Well, that's
I was
wicked.
like, oh my
That's
God, no bother.
wicked.
She was like, it's incredible. It's incredible. I was like, that makes me feel so good. I'm so happy, yeah. So it's a great old great old time.
And you were also doing other, you just don't do dog particular comedy, you do other shows as well.
Yes. Yeah. All
You
over
did
the
one,
place.
you did Groove in a While actually.
I
Seen you there.
did.
That was great, I'll laugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Groove in the Wild was good crack. Yeah, I gig all over the city, and then I try and like travel around as much as I can as well.
You did one like a garden show 2
Yes,
weeks ago?
I did. Yeah.
That's
And
pretty cool.
outdoor ones can be hit or miss because like the perfect audience, comedy audience, is in a dark room because people feel like less conscious about laughing about stuff.
Especially in the dark, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they feel like, okay, I can laugh at this.
Yeah.
When it's brighter, people are a bit more self-conscious of themselves.
Yeah, who's looking at me laughing at this? Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like, oh, that was bad. And who's
Yeah.
looking at me? Yeah. So I was a bit nervous about that garden show, but it was mostly Irish people, and it was great crack.
If you had to describe your comedy, how would you do it?
I'd say storytelling, mostly.
Yeah.
A bit dirty.
Yeah?
My
I think
gran-
we're all a bit dirty.
A bit dirty,
Yeah.
yeah. My granny has told me. A bit crude.
On your podcast, she was saying, like, you need to get a new writer.
Yeah,
hilarious.
she was just like, she was like, you need to get a new writer. And I was like, what are you on about? Like, it's me who's writing it. And she was like, exactly, you're just swearing too much. I was like, I'm not sitting there, like, writing the fucks in, you know?
Anyway,
It
but
just happens.
going back to even Tommy Tiernan, I said this with Ola Mac, it's like he was on the Late Late Show, and he's like a famous quote. I think it was Ryan Tuberty. He's like, why did you say fuck all the time, Tommy? And he's like, there's a brick wall between me and the audience, and fuck is that chisel and hammer. It's like, that's perfect. Yeah.
That's actually such a good,
Yeah.
it just slips out as well, you know?
Oh yeah.
You know, and
no
it just,
feck here and there.
exactly.
You know?
I'm trying to get better at not swearing. I'm trying to listen to my granny, but it just slips out. Yeah. It's,
That's brilliant.
yeah.
So, segue on to Soft for Us,
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
podcast.
That's the podcast. Yeah.
Where was the idea behind it all, and how did it come? There's 3 of you, right?
Yeah, there's 3
Yeah.
of us. So it's 2 other female comedians. So myself, Nikki Mordar, and Danielle Florence. So we just became friends through comedy. And then we were like, why don't we just try and make a podcast and
Unreal.
see what happens? And yeah, it's been going really well. We've only done 4 episodes now, but it's...
There's 3 out now.
3 out. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
we recorded the 4th one there the last day.
Yes.
Yeah, you're on it.
Yeah. Own it like a cup on it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so it's just like 3 women that's talking about everything and anything. We have no
All
limits.
women like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking I was like, to sum up the 3 of them so far, 3 women, 3 chicks, small tits, eating chips, and it's comedy. If I hit the nail on the head, and I did not want to be vulgar.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we do talk about our small tits. Yeah. No, we're just having the crack, and nothing is off limits really.
I
We're
like
just-
the Reddit.
Oh yeah, Pass and Judgment. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for that man.
I know, so Nikki's great. She picks out these like insane scenarios from Reddit, and then we judge
Yeah.
the people that write about their insane lives. So yeah, it's been, some of them are mental, absolutely wild. So we have the crack with
I can't
that.
believe that's even like a person's life.
I
you
know,
what
she tries to find like the most ridiculous ones, so then we can
Yeah.
discuss it. Yeah, it's mad, but we have, it's great crack. And it's kind of weird though, on YouTube are like, our main viewers are 65 plus men.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like doing a show down in Wreck Beach or something.
I know, because they're probably wanking. Let's be honest. Like, wait, they're not.
Oh my God. And they're definitely Googling Soft for Us as well.
Like, because when we saw the statistics, we were like, oh, Jesus Christ. But we were also like, a view's a view, you know?
You're getting good views too.
We are, yeah, it's going
100%.
well. Even
I'm
if
enjoying
there's
it.
65 plus men in the United States.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Really?
it's a bit wild, but
Oh, that's unreal.
yeah, there's a live show as well that they're doing. I'm not going to be here. I'll be in Ireland, but on September 2nd, so that'll be good crack. But yeah, I'm going home for a
sweet.
bit. Yeah.
How's your the plan or the future? Are you always going to do the 3D? Are you going to get on guests or if there's an example of how the live show is going to work?
Yeah, so basically because I'm gone, they're going to replace me with someone. So that's how we're going to figure it at the moment, because we're going to try and just do it ourselves until we get a bit more like established and comfortable in it, just ourselves. And then if some of us, like one of us, needs to be gone for some reason, we're going to swap this out with someone that we all get on with. So it'll be like the next one is, when I'm gone, it's going to be another comedian. That's what. Yeah. So I'm raging to be missing it, but I'll be doing Electric Picnic that day. So yeah,
that's mint.
Yeah,
unreal.
They were like, "Can we zoom you in for a few minutes?" And I was like, "With the time difference, it's going to be 10:30."
I know. I'm probably in the Raven Woods right now, like body and soul, just like.
Exactly. I was like, I don't know if I'll be in any fit state now to be zooming into a podcast.
In the background, it's like, doof, doof, doof.
I'm like, this is great. So we'll see about that. Yeah.
Unreal. That's class. So in the city, like jumping around, is there like certain spots that you go to nowadays?
Yeah, for comedy.
Comedy,
Yeah, so there's like, in the city, there's one kind of established...
oh yeah, sweet.
Oh, lovely. Thank you very much.
Unreal.
Will we split the G?
Well, we'll go for it anyways.
Yeah.
Have you done?
Have I split the G?
Are you good at it?
I don't want to toot my own horn now before I do it.
Yeah? All right, sweet.
I'm generally all right in it. Okay.
All we have to do is get one gulp, that white line, across the G and the E. Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
All right,
Cheers.
let's do it. Sláinte.
Sláinte roll.
Oh, bollocks.
I never got it. I'm just about under.
I overshot it.
Much?
I knew it as well. Just a tiny bit now.
Oh, we got the exact same.
No way. Show me.
Yeah, we did. I think that's a go. Oh, geez, I nearly spilled it there.
Oh. Actually.
It's bang on, right?
Fuck. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of splitting the G now, I must say. And the E.
Yay. There we go. Save that for Electric Picnic.
Yeah, so there's one club, like kind of dedicated comedy space in the city, so Comedy After Dark.
Comedy After Dark is just up the road from the Point, right?
Yes, right beside it, yeah. So that's only dedicated, like, space for comedy, but then there's the Martin, which I run the dog show in, and that's a comedy tattoo place and a podcast studio. So that's
where is that actually?
It's on Triumph Street, so it's like off the end of Commercial, kind of.
Okay.
So it's.
Have you ever done shows in like underneath the Caveman
Underneath
Cafe?
the Caveman.
It used to be the Caveman Cafe. It's on like Richard or Smythe.
Oh, I think
downtown near
that
Waterfront.
used to be.
Is that gone now?
I think it's gone. Yeah. I think it's gone.
I was like.
I remember people talking about that.
Dipping my toe into the comedy scene.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this.
I was doing like open mics in the Yuck, like staying up until like 12 o'clock.
I heard about those. They sound like
they were wicked.
Mental days.
Yeah, and then the Kino up the road then as well.
And the comedy mix? Is
that? I never did the comedy mix.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I just knew the Yucks.
And why didn't you like keep going with it?
Because I was absolutely shy. No, I don't know if I was shy, but like the self-deprivation of failing, and then like I would literally be depressed after. I should get back into it.
Yeah,
we'll see.
The bombing at the start is hard.
How did you get past that?
Honestly, the way I describe it is like it's like a drug for me. Like the highs were so high. But the lows are so fucking low.
Yeah.
Especially at the start when it was like the bad ones. I'm like, I shouldn't fucking do this. This is shite.
Yeah,
but then getting booked on other gigs and stuff, and like
I can imagine like meeting
perseverance
people then
really.
Yeah.
And then just little tidbits of people being like telling me that it was good, like strangers and stuff. Especially when strangers told me it was good, that's when I was like, okay, I'll keep going. Because like if someone I knew told me I was good, I was like, you're only fucking saying that. So I wouldn't really take as much weight from them because I'm like, they're just lying. So I just kind of, like so many times I was on the Dublin bus home crying my eyes out, being like, I am shite.
Yeah.
And even here, like,
what am I doing
in my life? Exactly. Being like, what have I done? And
I literally, the very last one that I've done, and I'm not like, I do comedy. I don't. I am doing a podcast and that's it at the moment. But I did one in the Caveman, absolutely failed miserably. I forgot everything
Oh,
2 minutes
no.
into it.
Yeah.
I walked home in the pissing rain. I was like, I hate my life right now.
Yeah.
But I got like a couple of good ones, you know?
Yeah,
So,
that's the thing, and like that rush when you get good ones is
It's amazing.
oh, it's
You're
mental.
buzzing after it.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can't. It's like I don't know, like taking something and just being like, "Woo, I'm
Yeah.
up!" Like I can't
Yeah,
fucking go
yeah,
to
yeah.
sleep, and then the downs. Yeah, when you
Yeah.
have the bad ones, then it's like, oh Jesus Christ! Like it's bad. It's very bad.
I know. I watched like a Tom Hanks actors round circle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a square circle here that we have. But thanks to Donlands for having us again. These pints are amazing. But he's saying was this too shall pass, and I've only kind of started using it. Maybe if I get back into comedy again.
Yeah. And I was actually only saying that to myself the other day when something shy. I was like, it's only temporary. It's grand.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
and that's the thing as well when you have those bad gigs, you just kind of have to remind yourself of the good gigs. You know? Like
and take fucking note from the bad ones, so you won't do it again.
100%. That's the
Yeah.
thing. I find like now I've gotten to a place where I'm like, okay, what can I learn from this? What did I like? What could I have changed there? That like sometimes you just have an audience that they just don't want to laugh. However, there's audiences that do want to laugh, and you just do shy.
How do you find it being like an Irish person coming to Vancouver?
It's
Do you-
been yeah. Sorry, go on.
Oh, as in comedy wise.
Yeah, yeah.
And even like, I'm 1/17th Irish. Do you know all of that shit, or like?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely comedy-wise. It's definitely been a huge learning curve for me.
And you can either make it work for you or against you.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I started off here, I hadn't done comedy properly. I'd done one gig, I think, 2 gigs in 2 years.
Yeah.
With like COVID and stuff, or two
Yeah.
and a year and a half, whatever. So when I came, I was really nervous, and then I sped up. Like my speech was speeding up because I was like nervous trying to get through it. And I'd be recording a lot of my sets, like either audio or like with the video, and I couldn't even understand what I was saying. I was like,
shit.
"What am I saying there?"
Yeah, motor mouth.
So they don't know what I'm saying. So I learned like that's really important as well, is like recording yourself so you can listen
Yeah.
to yourself back. And that's something I was like, oh, they don't know what I'm saying anyway. So I've had to change my accent a lot of like on stage to say things a certain way. Also to get rid of like words I'd say all the time, like crack, shifting, riding. Like they don't know what that means.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
I
love the word shift.
I love shift,
If,
riding, and
if
crack.
you're like moving someone, it's so rugged and raw. It's perfect. Get with it, Canadians. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So I tried to kind of incorporate it and like the explanation of what those words are. And I was like, you know what? I don't have enough fucking time. I'm just going to get rid of them. Like
Yeah.
until I have longer sets, and then I can kind of make it parts of it. So that was a big thing of like changing my vocabulary, changing the speed of how I spoke, and also some of the content as well. I have this set about my parents, and a big chunk of it was of like about my dad, and like he's just a regular angry Irish dad, you know. But they were like, I had like concerned faces looking up at me when I was
Yeah.
telling some of the stories about my
Yeah.
dad, being like, he abuses you. It's like, no, you don't get it.
Yeah.
He's just angry and he shouts at us all the time. It's fine. So that was a learning curve as well, the content of what I was saying.
The culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've definitely used it in my favor as well, of like comparing Irishness and Canadianisms and that kind of stuff.
100%.
Yeah, so it's definitely worked in my favor as well. And also when I've been gigging, like afterwards, people are like, oh, you're the Irish girl. So it kind of makes me stand out a bit
Yes.
as well. So, you know, yeah.
Is there more? I know I had Dara Turner on. Shout out to Dara. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's
hilarious.
unreal. I love Dara.
But is there any other? Not so evil Dara. There's
Yes,
2
Dara
Dara.
Burke.
He's a
Yeah,
champ. He's a champ.
Unreal.
I've done a
Yeah.
couple of went back in the day when I was attempting it. He was
Yeah.
there, and it was so nice to have another Irish person.
And he's so sound as well.
He is, yeah, he's lovely, isn't
and
he?
he's hilarious.
He's like
Such a
structured.
good writer.
Oh, it's so good.
Off the scale.
Yeah.
I wish I could have, like,
I love how he's like, I don't know if he's gag, but it's like trying to be awkward.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
Brilliant. Yeah, because the 3 of us, we did, we supported Owen Colgan last
Yeah,
year.
you hosted that.
Yeah, I
Unreal,
hosted it.
yeah.
And then, so the lads got onto me, the fella who's who were promoting it. And then they were like, do you know anyone else? So I got the 2 boys on board as well. And then I ended up posting it. And it was unreal. It was unreal. And the two, like everyone just went down the trees as well. And it was brilliant. Like that was an unreal experience. It was
how was you got to meet Owen? Like how
it was fucking unreal. It was crazy. I said unreal in like 20 times the last 5 minutes. But
unreal like a train. Go on.
I loved Hardy books like when I was like since I was a teenager. Yeah. So to be gigging with him
were you
was
kind of like starstruck a little?
Blew my mind.
Yeah.
So I walked in and I was like, oh my god, it's fucking O'Logan. Like I was like, fuck. And also a thing that happens to me is I gag when I'm nervous. It's so weird. I've since figured out with my therapist that it's like my body wants to have a panic attack.
What?
Because I'm under such stress, but my brain is like, no, you're fine. So it's like trying to stop the panic attack with gagging.
What?
So yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my god, the body works in weird ways.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's awful. So that morning, I woke up for work at like 6:30, and as soon as I woke up, I was like, what? All morning. I was like on meetings. I was like, and then one day, like last year, I was walking to the Galway Comedy Festival with my dad to a gig, and like all my friends and family were going, and I was walking along and I was like, what? And my dad was like, why are you doing this to yourself? And I was like,
has this happened
I love
like
it.
a lot?
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. And then it's happened at big gigs or like gigs that I have a lot of importance in my head.
Yes.
So it's crazy. So I'm trying to fucking get over that. But that day of the Uncolgan gig, gagging all day. I had to force food into me. I couldn't. No. So then I met him and I was like, he's just one of the lads. Like, he's so sound. Like, unbelievably sound. And like, that was an insane experience. That was like 350 people. Like,
Hollywood Theatre.
Yeah, Hollywood Theatre, laughing at my jokes.
That's such a cool venue
like,
too.
Whoa, I remember at one point just standing there looking at like everyone out there and I was like, oh, I have to do this for the rest of my life. Like this feeling is like incomparable to anything I've ever done. And like, so I was like, I have to keep going.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Having the boys up there and watching that response for them as well was the 2 hours, just unreal. And then, of course, when O'Colgan came out then, people lost their fucking shit. It was class. Went for a few pints with him as well, and he is so sound.
Yeah.
So sound.
Yeah. He's actually like a good mate of my friend. And then he was over in his house, like, shout out to Miles. He was there, like, I just seen him having a barbecue. I was like, motherfucker. Like, I would have loved to meet him, you know?
They didn't invite you?
No.
Did you go to the gig?
I actually didn't.
No. Why not?
I was slacking.
So many people I've met have been like, I meant to go and I couldn't go, or like at Groove in the Wild. Yeah. Bumped into this lad Thursday night at like 3 o'clock in the morning down to Flakeville, and he was like, I was like, can I sit here? I was on my own, and he was like, yeah, no bother. I recognize your voice, and I was like, I don't know why. Sat down chatting to him. He was like, did you host the Uncolgan gig? I was like, I did, yeah. So we had the crack. It was unreal.
Sick. So I'd like to get you to name 3 comedians that you recommend in Vancouver.
In Vancouver. Okay. The first one that comes to mind is Ola Dada.
Shout out to Ola. Yeah. He just got married recently.
He did. I was at his wedding. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. It was, he's unbelievable. He is unreal.
He's very funny.
So funny, so sound.
I seen him at New Year's. I went to Fox Cabaret.
Oh, okay.
And he did a really, really good set about talking about his parents. They moved to Fort Mac.
Yeah. Fucking nuts.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to shout out Danielle and Nikki because...
You can, though.
Yeah, but they're on the podcast, so then, they're obviously...
You're boys, they got skin in the game, right?
Yeah. So, okay, the next one I want to shout out is Cass Furman. She's unreal.
Oh, I know her.
Yeah.
I actually was sitting right beside her at Groove in the Wild.
Oh, no way.
Watching your set.
Oh, yes. Yeah. She is absolutely brilliant.
I was doing an open mic in Johnny Fox's, and there was this drunken couple fighting, like arguing. and then she just made mincemeat of him.
Yeah, she did.
She's
Yeah.
hilarious. She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She
Yeah.
is unreal.
Yeah,
So,
very funny.
Cass Berman for sure. She's brilliant. She is from Toronto originally, and then moved over here. Should check her out. And then, who do I wanna? And we've mentioned the Daras. Sean McDonald.
Oh, 100%.
Sean McDonald.
Hilarious.
He is one of the most underrated comedians in this city.
You think he's underrated?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That man, he's been doing comedy for a while, and he should be like.
But he's like a lot of viral
Yes, he does.
videos.
He does. But I think he should have fucking way more gigs, like bigger gigs than he should. He is
He toured
one
with
of the best.
Andrew Pack. I can't remember his name.
Andrew Pecker.
Pecker.
Yes.
Andrew Pecker's
he did
hilarious
something.
too.
Yeah.
The two of them,
Andrew
little poor. I think it was last at the start of summer.
Yes.
The two of them are fucking hilarious.
This is Andrew Packer. Yeah.
He
Packer,
is.
yeah.
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah, and Sean is fucking real.
Yeah.
He is just, he can turn his hand to any crowd, and
Yeah.
he's just, his writing is unbelievable. So
Very funny.
they're my three. Yeah.
Class. Thank you so much for coming on the
Thanks
show.
for having me on.
Have you any shows coming up? You mentioned the Electric Picnic.
Yes, I'm going to the Fringe, so I'm gigging at the Fringe for a week.
In Edinburgh?
In Edinburgh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Edinburgh Fringe. And then I have Electric Picnic, and then I'm back here the 11th of September. So then I have my dog show on the 14th of September.
All right, I'll see you at that one.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Your honesty and generosity, I'll never escape my memory. It's the saying I end all podcasts with. Thanks for watching Split the E. We'll see you next week. Please like, subscribe, check out their show, Soft for Us, and we'll see you. Fusion Festival, Irish Fusion Festival. Are you around this weekend?
No, I'm in
gone?
Edinburgh.
I'll be at the Irish Fusion Festival this weekend. If this is not out, I'll see you in the next one. See you. Sweet. Cheers.
Large.